there, YouTube. Welcome to our new YouTube channel. I'm Jay, and you are checking out Roaming with the Yazzies. So, a little bit of backstory on us is you are in our 2019 Winnebago Outlook 27D. It's a 29-foot RV, which we have had for the last, I'd say, 4 years. We bought it right in the beginning of this little pandemic thing, so we could be a little bit more mobile without having to use the airlines that we typically used to get around, see new things as a family. So, long story short, in the beginning, we were looking to go down to San Diego to visit some family. So we wanted to avoid the hustle and bustle of the airlines because everything was still really new because we didn't know what was going on. So we decided to look into renting an RV. After doing some research, we seen it was just crazy expensive to not only rent an RV, but then to use it for, let's say, 2 weeks, plus mileage all the way down to San Diego and come all the way back here to Washington State where we're located. So I thought I'd do some research, look around, and I ended up finding a really good deal on OfferUp for a local used but almost new RV. First time RVing, never had a travel trailer, anything. So made an offer, they liked it. I got a hold of my credit union, got a loan, and within about a week or two, we had the deal done and I was in possession of an RV. Again, no previous experience, just thought, hey, let's get it and go. So my wife and my youngest at the time, Jonas, who was just about 2 years old, got it, jumped in, and we started doing some local trips around here. Leavenworth, we went to Eastern Washington, outside of Leavenworth, and then we also went to the California Redwoods, Jebediah State Park, a couple things here and there, nothing too major. But then after a little while, we weren't really using it. Then we thought, what are we going to do with this? So let's maybe look at the rental market. Since we had originally thought about renting, let's maybe just think about putting it on a rental website and see what happens. So put it on the website, and pretty quickly, once it got uploaded, we started getting rentals booked for the RV. I don't know if there was a need for our area or if the nightly rate was a little bit too low. So we got a couple RV rentals lined up. Started playing with a couple other things, adding some things in here as far as, the necessities that you're going to need, plates, bowls, stuff like that. But because we were in the pandemic, we also said that we weren't going to be providing linens such as beddings and shower towels and stuff like that, which most people are okay with up until even today. When we rent this thing out, they understand it. So we did that for a while, and unfortunately, as things happens and as people rent things, it's not their own, they don't really care about it. So we've had some ongoing issues and maintenance with this RV, to include little minor things breaking here and there, stuff with the awnings. And then last season, the end of last season, 2023, our last renter says, oh, they hit something at a gas station, everything's fine, they're gonna drop the vehicle off. And I was at work at the time, and they dropped it off. I came home and looked at it, and that was the only thing that I ever heard from them. They just dropped it off and left. Came home from work, and there is a complete just hole in the back passenger side of the vehicle where they must have hit a low hanging awning when they were turning in the gas station. It ripped kind of the back off a little bit. You literally could see from outside inside to the main sleeping area through the closet. You could see the bed inside. And that was pretty much the only communication with them I had. They just kind of avoided everything since then. But through the website, I had a security deposit already in place, plus the insurance that they had provided. So went through their process of getting it appraised, or not appraised, I'm sorry, getting, well, I guess the adjuster to look at some photos, say how much it's going to cost. They gave us $12,000 to get it fixed. We went to a local RV repair place, and it cost at least, I think it was like 13 or 14,000. So battling back and forth, we finally got the rest of the money to pay for the complete repair of the unit. Outside of that, there's some other little minor things here and there that are just, breaking. Maintenance wise, we're not really, we are keeping up with, but it's hard to keep up with because it gets used so often. So that's a little bit of our story of how we got started. Now we're in the process of deciding, do we get something bigger? Do we get something with a separate bunk room that has a door where the kids can go inside, sleep, and or play? What we're running into right now is that we have to pretty much get to our destination, and then we have to make a determination what we're going to do. Are we going to do anything else? Are we going to get ready for bed? Essentially kind of like put the bedding together, because it is a little bit of a task to get everything broke down to go to sleep. And then also on top of that, then when we wake up in the morning, now everything's in the way. So now we got to move stuff and then put things away a little bit more so than you would if they had their own designated spot as far as like a bedroom and whatnot. So now we have to do a little bit more steps to get to the end result of getting back on the road and going. So we believe that it would probably be beneficial to get into a travel trailer. So that's where we kind of decided to, let's maybe start documenting our trip, the shortcomings, and the fun that we have with it, but then also maybe transitioning into a little bit bigger of a trailer for a growing family, and just see how that evolves, and then see what we like about the new trailers and what we don't like, versus being able to jump into an RV and go, not have to worry about hooking up a trailer and this and that. Pros and cons to both sides. So that's where we're at, and we would be more than grateful for you to come along with us in this journey. On this episode of Roaming with the Yazzies, we're going to talk about our family's 3,200-mile trip to Colorado Springs to see One Republic. All right, as we discussed earlier, we had mentioned that we had just recently got back from a pretty extensive, for us, travel excursion that we were able to go from Pacific Northwest of Washington over to Colorado Springs to see One Republic, which my boy is a huge fan of, and it was for him and for his birthday of why we went over there. So we did a little bit of harvest hosting in the beginning, and then we kind of switched into more of being able to plug in. Overall, we drove about 3,226 miles. Starting from our location, we drove the longest of about 7.5 hours total to New Plymouth, Idaho, where we stayed at a harvest host. It was great. Everything went fine. Lovely little area. Then we went from there to Willard, Utah, and again, another harvest host. No issues, anything like that. I'll show you kind of a little bit how we had everything set up. Originally, we were sleeping here, my wife and I, on the dinette, and the kids were in the back, more so to be able to still have access to everything out here, and then not disrupt the kids if we needed to come in and out. Later on, we decided, let's kind of go back to the original, have the kids out here, us back there, just because we weren't as active out here as we thought we were going to be. Plus, the whole bedding area took up quite a bit of space. The breakdown and the setup was quite intense. It took a little bit of time moving everything around. But, so we went from Willard, Utah to Palisade, Colorado, which again, we stayed at another harvest host. This one was a winery, nice place where we were able to plug in, which was fantastic. One of those nights we started having issues where I believe the batteries were dying. So our inverter started beeping. It was having issues keeping the fridge on. So in turn, we had to turn the fridge off overnight, which we were still able to keep cold. But having these little issues of not plugging in for about 2 or 3 nights became a little bit more of a bear than we wanted to. So luckily, the last half of the trip, we were able to just continually plug into our campsites. So then we went to Monument, Colorado, where we were about 15 minutes away from the Ford Amphitheater Arena in Colorado Springs area. And we were able to stay at a KOA, great little place. We were close to everything. We got to explore a little bit more in the Colorado area. Fantastic place. Wife wants to move there. I'm sold. It's a great place. But we went in August. We weren't there when it was wintertime. So that would be a big thing that we'd have to obviously contend with, would be the winter living. So anyways, concert, everything was good. Next day, we ended up going to Rawlins, Wyoming, trying to get to the Tetons. Rawlins, Wyoming was a very special place. And we'll leave it at that. So beyond that, we ended up in Coulter Bay RV Park in the Tetons. We stayed at the national park. It was absolutely gorgeous. I didn't plan far enough ahead. I was only doing this a couple weeks out, so campsites were extremely booked. And unfortunately, we only had one night available for the nights we were looking for, so we only stayed there one night, which was very unfortunate because it was a very great place, and we hope to get back there. I've heard there are some applications out there that you can download that will continuously search for the nights you're requesting at certain locations, and if there's any reservation cancellations, they'll let you know so you can kind of jump on it. I haven't tested any of those yet, but I heard they're out there. So from the Tetons, we made our way over to Yellowstone, which we ended up staying 2 nights in a KOA just west of Yellowstone, because again, I didn't plan it out far enough ahead of time to where the campsites inside Yellowstone were already booked up. So the KOA was a great option for us. It was still only maybe 15 minutes from the west entrance, maybe less, but it was good enough to get us in and out. Learning experience again, plan ahead of time, get your campsites reserved and kind of play around with that. Get a little bit more time there if needed. 2 days was significant, but it could have been better. We could have had maybe a third day, which would have been great. The kids did amazing. The kids just loved the KOA that we stayed at in West Yellowstone. There was a jump pad that they couldn't get enough of. But anyway, so from then we ended up going to Missoula, Montana, stayed the night there in a KOA as well. Great little place, had a pool, so the kids got to swim a little bit. And then from there, the next day, we just bugged all the way home, which was about another 7-ish hours or so drive time. Obviously, we stopped in between then and there just to get the kids out, stretch their legs, play, get some lunch, food, whatever. So please stick with us along this journey as we will try to document our entire journey from going from hopefully this into a travel trailer. Which one, we don't know. We have our sights set on a couple of them, but we definitely want to be able to provide a little bit more content, and that way, in case anybody else is in the situation where they're looking to kind of have their family grow into a unit instead of being outgrown right away, that hopefully this will be able to provide them a little bit of help to ease their trouble into making that leap into fully committing into an RV life. Thank you, and if you'd like, please hit that thumbs up. Have any comments, please drop it below. I'll be more than happy to answer any comments or questions that you have. Thank you. On this episode of Roaming with the Yazzies, we're going to talk about what mistakes I made on our 3,200-mile trip to Colorado Springs. Hello there, YouTube. Just want to kind of provide a little bit of uh-ohs that I've done. Previously, we mentioned that our family went on a 3,200-mile round trip excursion in our 2019 Winnebago 27D. We've had it for about 4 years, and I don't consider ourselves as novices, maybe kind of like intermediate, not experts by any means. But over this 3,200 miles, there were some things that I had a little bit of O's on. First thing is, I mentioned before that we do rent this RV out to other individuals that are looking to use an RV for the weekend or a week or whatnot. One of the things I do tell them is once we get done walking around, I show them the keys, kind of explain what the keys are for. There's a couple of keys on there, but the one thing I do tell them is that, hey, when you're traveling, make sure you lock the deadbolt. I've had it before where I'm traveling down the road and the door does come ajar. Tell every renter that. But for some reason, I didn't listen to my own advice, and shortly after we took off on the freeway, the door, of course, came open. We're at freeway speed, so it didn't fly open. It was just opened a little bit of a crack. Luckily, there was nothing in the the step area, like shoes or anything like that could fall out. But needless to say, it was a little bit of an eye-opener. So learn from me, lock your deadbolts every time you're traveling around, whether it's from here, just down the street, just lock the deadbolts. You never know. The second thing that happened was we were leaving a campsite that didn't have the dump stations at the campsite. We had to pull over to their little dumping area. So we went over to the dump. I got outside, opened up the side compartment, got my gloves on, started to dump the tanks, put everything back. Not sure what happened. I don't remember if I didn't shut the compartment, if I thought to myself I was going to come back and do something else again or whatnot. I don't remember if it was just closed and not latched. But anyways, we left the RV park, and then we were going about 3 miles down the way after a couple of turns to get to the next gas station to fill up for the morning before we left, and pulled into the gas station, got out, looked over, and there's the compartment hanging down, wide open. First thing that I noticed was I have a really kind of big black carrying case with a fancy light in there, which is about $150, $200 off Amazon. Really nice light. I'll drop a link in the description. But that was gone. So just didn't get gas, closed the bin, and jumped back in the truck and told the wife, said, hey, I left the side open and I'm missing my light. We got to go find it. So jumped back in and we drove back, and about halfway between the campsite and the gas station, there was a couple of turns that we had to take, but there it was laying in the middle of the roadway, still intact. It was in rough shape. The bag was ripped. The light was pretty beat up, but it still works. So just double check your compartments, make sure they're locked, switches turned, and you won't have any issues like that. So learn from my mistakes, please. Second two mistakes involve the awning, which again, newbie mistake. I should have caught it. There's no excuse of why I didn't, but learn from me, please. First time is we had parked at a site that had a really large puddle right outside of our door, so I was using the picnic table to get in and out, so I didn't have to step into the water or over the water where it risks slipping. So when we were getting ready to leave, I went out that way, shut the door, locked it up, did my walk around the RV, did some things, folded up the hoses, disconnected power, and then jumped into the driver's seat, which is on obviously the driver's side, and said, all right, here we go, take off. So we took off out of the parking spot, turned right, went down a couple more campsites, and then we're turning again right to go towards the highway, and somebody's waving us down, hey. So I stop, and she goes, your awning's open. I said, oh. So I looked through the passenger window, and sure enough, the awning is fully extended out. Yeah, so we rolled the awning in. I had originally thought there was a kill switch on the RV that wouldn't allow the engine to turn on, essentially, or something like that for the awning if the awning is extended. However, what it is that the awning will not go out if the engine is on. However, if the awning is already out, the engine will turn on and it will allow you to drive. So I completely fumbled that one, and that was a pretty big wake-up call. So the other part of the awning story is that, so we did our travels that day. Again, we're in Yellowstone, and we had 2 nights at the same campground. So we did our traveling. We came back, and I had the awning all the way open to cook some food. It was a little bit, nasty weather, so I wanted a little bit of cover. So I was cooking some food outside, and then the kids were riding their bikes. I was done outside. The kids were bringing their bikes in, but they were all wet and muddy. So I thought to myself, okay, let me bring the awning in a little bit close to the RV, so that way there's a little bit of coverage over the bikes and whatever else was outside. So we closed it up, and that was it. And then the next morning, not thinking twice about it, my boy wanted to go outside to play, and I said, oh yeah, go ahead. So he's trying to get out of the door, and the door won't open, and I'm like, okay, maybe it's still locked. I'm like, no, it's not locked. And so I'm pushing on it, and we're like stuck in here. And I thought, uh-oh, the awning was out, the awning is broke, something's blocking it. So I'm looking out the small little window outside, and I could see the awning hanging down, and I thought it was broken at the arm, and the arm might have been blocking the door. But we were able to push the awning that was hanging down, the fabric, out of the way, and it was completely filled with water. I mean, a lot of water. It was pretty heavy, and so we were able to close the door again, and then I just opened the awning all the way, and the amount of water that ran out of there was tremendous. And I tell every renter too that when it's windy out or it's nasty out, put the awning all the way in. You don't want to risk ripping an awning, pulling it off, or anything like that. But again, I didn't listen. It goes back to slowing down to speed up. Double checking everything before you're going to bed. Double checking everything before you leave. Check your awnings, check your storages, check everything, check stuff around inside, make sure everything's back where it needs to be so it doesn't move around when you're driving. These stories are funny to me because nothing badly happened to where it cost me any money or anything like that, but please let it be a learning experience for you to know not to, leave the awnings out overnight. There's no reason to. Just bring it in. We could have wiped the bikes off and just put them away anyways, but I chose the short route instead of the correct route. So if you enjoyed my stories, I'm telling these stories more so because I want you to be aware of it can happen to anybody, even if you believe you're experienced or not. Just slow down, take your time, double check everything, double check it before you go to bed, double check it in the morning when you're getting ready to leave, double check it when you stop to get gas. Just walk around, take your time. Don't try to cut corners because it will cost you in the long run. So if you have any other stories of traveling around, have you left compartments over of lost stuff? Have you seen people driving around with your awnings open? Leave a comment. I'm curious. I want to know, what have you seen? What have you done? Let this be kind of a learning experience for everybody. If you like the content that I've provided, please smash the like button. Any other questions or comments, leave it down below, and I'll try to get it back to you too. Thank you so much. On today's episode of Roaming with the Yazzies, we're going to cover some damage that the renters have caused our unit, as well as cover some must-have RV accessories. Some of the damage that our renters have caused. Something low right here, our very first renter. Cracked the fiberglass, I had to put some tape on there, keep the water out. Renter backed over something there, and it hit right here, and cracked the fiberglass right there, so I had to put some more tape on that as well. Probably the biggest damage was a renter hit something low right here and ripped off the back end a little bit. You could see all the way through into the inside from there, which was not very fun to get fixed, but you know, it is what it is. Damage that you get when you're renting out your unit. Backed into something here, hit a truck, ripped the side of the truck off, and pulled this trim piece off. A little bit more tape on there to try to keep it watertight. Other minor things here and there as far as hubcaps, whatnot, loose and broken things here. So more damage here. Have some cuts in the countertop, which has a little bit of moisture coming down here, so it's starting to bubble. Other damage here. Nice size hole. And a little snap off here came off. And back under here, I let the slide out, but anyway, somebody put a bag or something right here, brought the slide in, and cracked the molding, the trim there. That is bent up, so we need to bend that back down with a hammer. It's on there. Push this back. There you go. Good as new. So another thing, after using the RV for a while, you start to notice little things like this. These little guys right here. Try to show you, we'll hit right there. As you see, it kind of makes a groove. After playing with it for a minute, found out these were loose. After travel, after opening and closing the doors for a while, he just got loose. So what we're gonna do to fix that is take them off, add a little thread lock. Good as new. And another upgrade that we had an opportunity to do was put this larger sink in, because the original one had a double basin here, so it was half the size. It was undermounted, and a renter or renters over time eventually just started putting too much pressure on it, and started to separate from the countertop. So looked around online, did a couple days of research on Amazon, found this one as a drop-in option, and we did have to put the template down and cut around the exterior to make it a little bit bigger. Once we did that though, we found out that our sink strainer dryer would no longer fit in here correctly, so you have to kind of angle it sometimes to make it try to fit, but then if you left it out when you're driving, it'll fall in. So one thing that I realized with this thing is, if you do have it in here and it's at an angle, you do need a little bit more draining holes on the sides. So we will be drilling holes in there to make it a little bit more drainage accessible when it is at an angle. One upgrade that doesn't get talked about a lot is these fold-out shower rods here. It creates a little bit extra space in the shower that's already tight. So I did have to cut this bar and this bar here to make it fit for what we're looking for, but it ends up coming out like this. It's got a little bit longer shower curtain, so it just hangs down here, and then we just kind of fold it in there like that. It does get quite a bit wet down the bottom down there when we're done showering. We just fold this back like this, and then we just put the shower curtain up here so it has an opportunity to dry. As you see, we also updated our shower handles and shower head to kind of give us a little bit extra water pressure and flow, it says, when we were looking to upgrade. So on our last trip, we had issues with gnats. And I ordered this thing Catchy off of Amazon. It's supposed to draw on the bugs. You get sucked down there, and there's that little sticky pad down there. So turns out that we just had some gnats from our fruit. So I built this little trap here. Just regular apple cider vinegar with a drop of dish soap versus this. Left it out overnight. As you see here, got quite a few contenders floating around down the bottom down there. Let's see how this guy did. Open it up, and it looks like we have just two little guys. So overall, what do I think? Looks like this guy did better work than this.
And remember, if you're liking the content you're seeing, please remember to smash that like button, comment, and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you. On this episode of Roaming with the Yazzies, I'm going to show you how we turned our dinette into a queen-size bed of our 2019 Winnebago Outlook 2017.
So when we would travel to and from the campsites, this is how the kids would sit, strapped in. And then to get ready for the night, I'll show you what we have to do. This little piece off right here for the car seat for my sons, since we were driving around. This car seat cushion was a little bit soft, or not soft enough, he said. It was hurting his bottom. So I just cut off a piece here and folded it about 3 times, and then just stuffed it underneath his booster seat here. In there, so he had a little bit extra cushion, because this is super thin, no cushion there between that and the plastic. So that helped him out the whole trip. He didn't complain after that little bit. But this is how we turn our dinette into a queen-sized mattress, queen-sized bed. Like this would be beneficial, so when the kids are asleep, we could still get out of our one door. But now we're pretty cramped in here. Set up and take quite a bit of time, put everything away to be able to get the kids out here and eating breakfast. So that's what we did to get us a queen bed here and a queen bed back there for the kids to sleep in. Now I'll show you about halfway through what we ended up doing is we ended up putting this away and having the kids just sleep on the dinette. So I'll show you that setup here too. Platform is made out of 5/8 plywood. I just ripped it in half and then I stapled an old sheet to both sides. After sanding it down, sprayed some sticky glue, and then that way it stays together, and that way we don't have to worry about it popping the air mattress, and it makes it a little bit nicer to move it around up and down, because we had it in the loft area when we weren't using it set up like this. Now, we typically have blackout shades and curtains in the room, so a little bit of sunlight doesn't come in and wake them up, so we just use the window shades. We Gorilla taped it to the wall there. And that's how we ended up doing it the rest of the trip.
And remember, if you're liking the content you're seeing, please remember to smash that like button, comment, and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you. On this episode of Roaming with the Yazzies, we clean up after a rental return, we take on a quad bike at Point Ruston, and we check out a trailer. Could it be the one? All right, so this is one of the units that we're looking at for purchasing. The biggest reason obviously would be for the bunk room. So this folds up. This will fold down and out, give us a little bit bigger bed, and obviously the kids can watch TV while in here if they wanted to, which they really don't get much screen time, but that's where they would go. Ladder to get up there. Recliners, pretty awesome. You got a gas electric fireplace, or maybe it's just electric, I don't know. Got your TV, your kitchen space, prep space, which is more than we have now, which is nice. Big there. Perfect. Foot flush. And the biggest thing too that we're looking at is, boom, make sure we got washer dryer hookups. Thanks for checking us out. If you want to come along with us on this trailer adventure, please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. On this episode of Roaming with the Yazzies, follow us as we take on the Dolphins at Lumen Field. liking the content you're seeing, please remember to smash that like button, comment, and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you. On this episode of Rumming with the Yazzies, follow me as I install a fifth wheel hitch in my GMC Sierra 3500. All right, game plan is we're headed to my dad's house, aka Grandpa. We're going to pick up a fifth wheel hitch that I had delivered to his house because I was unable to change the delivery address. So we're gonna head over there right now. We're gonna see if we can get it installed in here. We might be a little bit premature as far as getting the fifth wheel hitch installed. However, I think it'd be fun to get it installed with my dad real quick since he is very handy with tools. We'll get that done and then we'll at least have it in here for whatever happens next as far as us getting a new travel trailer maybe. I don't know. Fast train coming through. Sharpen it up. Good hammering. And put this right on the end there. Can you twist it on? Yep, other way. Yep. way where we got it. We need to get that big box over there. A little further. That's good.
Okay.
Good job, Mirabelle. On this episode of Roaming with the Yazzies, follow us to Boise, Idaho when we go from this to this. Our 2024 Solitude S-Class 3740 Bunkhouse by Grand Design. So as we are about 45 minutes into the drive, I'm thinking back to a lot of the trips we had as a family in this RV. And knowing that I'm driving for the next 7 hours by myself, even though my dad is following right behind me, it's still a little sad to think I will actually miss this a little bit, you know? My boy grew up in this, he loved trips in this. But I'm really excited for this next part of the adventure of him having his own room. I mean, well, he'll share with his sister, but I'm very excited and a little sad at the same time. But it was good to us, and I hope that this will be as good to the next family as it was to us. Even though, sorry, we kind of destroyed it a little bit on having it as a rental, but it's still a good unit nonetheless.
Leaving this place, the sun's about to break. You're riding shotgun, the feeling we chase. I'm wide awake, take me away. a good time, don't you blame me. Yeah, this feeling I've got's making me crazy, making me crazy. So I'm just gonna drive, drive, drive. I'm just gonna drive, drive, drive. I'm just gonna drive, drive.
First stop here, we stopped at Starbucks. Got some coffee and some food. Now we gotta make the way right over to here. But we gotta go back. Yeah, it's a busy little street right there. So we'll figure this out here. We'll make our way back over that way. Gotta get Grandpa some caffeine. Just get these windows cleaned. Yeah, we got another 4 hours. Oh yeah. All right, back on the road. Here we go. Here we go. And yet again, I forgot to close the window. All right, well, we'll see how this goes.
I'm just gonna drive, drive, drive. Whenever I'm with you, I am alright. There's something about the way you make me feel inside. I'm counting down the days till we fly away, heading to the sun, only you and me. Don't wanna waste another day being stuck here in this place. No, wanna hold your hand in mine, watch the sunset in your eyes. Baby, I want us to act like we are 22 right now. Just let go, lose control, play songs on the radio too loud. This could be magical. Whoa, whoa. This could be magical.
Getting clean. Second time around, first time didn't do too well. I was trying to catch up this whole time. There's not even Grandpa. Boy.
We've been longing to escape, and here we are, driving narrow streets in a rusty car, leading to the sea. Think we're getting close. We should take a pic, baby, strike a
You ever had In-N-Out?
I remember every day that I spent
Get it.
with you. Yeah, you are the one who makes me feel as good as I do. Baby, I wanna still act like we are 22 right now. Just let go, lose control, play songs on the radio too loud. This could be magical. Whoa, whoa. This could
All right, so here we are. We did our walkthrough. Obviously, Maverick 1 is down for the count. It's no long, well, I haven't signed paperwork yet, but it will be ours here soon. Grandpa broke the door. He said he can't latch it because he doesn't know how to close it. So, starting off strong. Right there is loose. Just gotta tighten that back. But here she is. I didn't realize how big that bunk is. Like, I can't even touch the wall. Right now we are on 0.5 lens on the recording here, but we are pretty excited here, ready to go. I will do a little bit more in-depth review, cover this when we get back to home base, because it is now 2:30. And we have about 8 to 9 hours left of driving. And that's from the time we leave. And we still have to sign paper and get this hooked up. This is why I bring Grandpa along to do all the dirty work. Just double check and make sure we have everything tightens. And then, hopefully soon we'll get out of here.
Yep, we got 10 hours to go.
Let's do it.
Let's go.
All right, well, here we go. She's back there. Right onto the freeway we go. Can't even tell us back there. It's just buttery smooth. All right. See you on the other side.
RV is almost as tall
as the semis are. On this episode of Roaming with the Yazzies, we take on Leavenworth.
Alright guys, well, we made it here. Did a couple of oopsies, or things that could have been a lot worse. Parked my truck here. Unhitched, parked it, and then auto leveled
and the front end dropped down quite a bit. So without knowing, had it been even more dropped down, this could have crushed the bed rail. Cool, right? Yeah, I know. Also, while backing in, it was tight on a turn, on a corner. Didn't have the right angle. I was destroying these branches up here. Oh, here they are, right there. Yep. All these ones hanging down. And I was in a panic. I was in a rush. I was like, you know what? Just gonna force it through. And it bent that ladder top up there. I've bent it back since then, but yeah, I was a little stressed out, a little anxious because, you know, people started watching, asking if they can help, if I needed help. Cars were lining up. There's a road right over here. I'm up on the road waiting for me. So I gripped and ripped. My backup angle was kind of wrong. So I knocked on the neighbor's place across the way and said, hey, can you move the vehicle? Because they offered actually originally, they asked to help. I said, no, we're good. So then I ended up going back over there anyways and asking them if they could move for me so I can get the angle. And they did graciously, which is awesome. Then come in here, connected city water. Follow the little picture there, diagram, boom, boom, boom. Had to turn the water on, and then nobody was inside. Come to find out, while driving, the handle turned on and went everywhere in the main sink. So that was cool. A lot of water everywhere. And I just gotta turn this on real quick. And I think we're good. But yeah, cool. All in all, we made it. We're alive. Water, it just helped clean the floor, right? Sure. Look at the positives, right? Anyways, this thing is huge. We got everything all nice and set up. Now it's time to, we're gonna run to town. So I think we're gonna leave now. Huh? Where are you guys hiking in from?
Wait, why is there a mountain right in front of us?
You know, I'm not sure.
Do you know where those places that we're going?
But I know it's...
What?
Forgot the keys. And let's go. We made it. Bad lighting. My bad.
chase. I'm wide awake, take me away now. 'Cause I won't go down the same old path again now. No, I've been running out of air, so let me catch my breath. Feeling I've got's making me crazy. If I'm having a good time, don't you blame me. Yeah, this feeling I've got's making me crazy, making me crazy. So I'm just gonna drive, drive, drive. I'm just gonna drive, drive, drive. I'm just gonna drive, drive. I'm just gonna drive, drive. Wherever we go, we're taking control. The future is ours now. The road never ends. It's me and my friends. These are the good times. I'm feeling like I could go on forever.